A very warm welcome to the 1M2M Stakeholders Day Conference. I, Ritika Dev from TSDSI, along with my colleague Ms. Chandrakanta Rathod, are your hosts for the conference. Before we begin, here are a few hygiene announcements. This conference is being recorded and will be posted on the TSDSI website within the next few days. Speakers are requested to kindly deliver your presentations within the allotted time durations. Participants are requested to type their questions in the question tab in the tool. The conference will feature keynote talks and panel discussions. Engage with the ecosystem players from IoT or M2M applications, solution showcases, experience an interactive session featuring innovative IoT or M2M solutions and real-world implementations, and demo and poster exhibit, which will explore demonstrations of IoT solutions from leading industry players, showcasing their alignment with 1M2M standards, which have been adopted as national standards by Telecom Engineering Center, Government of India. To start today's proceedings, I now invite Mr. N. Mohan Ram, Director General CSGSI, to deliver the welcome address. Mr. N. Mohan Ram took office as Director General of TSGSI on 10 April 2023. With over 30 years of experience in high performance computing and high speed communications, he leads India's efforts in telecom and ICT standards development. His extensive background includes pivotal roles in technology innovation and national missions, making him a key figure in driving India's contributions to global standardization. Sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Ritika. Good morning, all of you. It's a great pleasure to be here at the Stakeholders Day. And I welcome you all to this conference hosted by TSPSI and the Research and Innovation Park United States. We are honored to have Dr. Anand Srivastava as the chief guest. He is the Vice Chancellor of the Netaji Subhash University of Technology, and then he's a well-respected academician and researcher. He has made significant contributions to telecommunications and emerging technologies, and he has been closely associated with TSDSI technical activities, and that makes his presence here all the more meaningful. We will be discussing the emerging IoT and M2M standards. So we are also proud to recognize that Dr. Anand Srivastava is one of the recipients of the TSPSI Outstanding Technical Contributions Award for the financial year 22-23 in appreciation of significant contributions to telecom standards. We are also privileged to have Mr. Roland H. Wartner. He is the chair of the 1M2M Technical Plenary, and he'll be delivering a special address today. He's a key leader in global IoT and M2M standardization and has played a significant role in developing scalable and interoperable solutions in the 1M2M framework. His insights today will give us valuable perspectives on the latest advancements and the future of 1M2M standards. TSDSI, as India's telecom standards development organization, has been an active partner of 1M2M. And this conference is part of the week-long 1M2M Technical Plenary, meeting number 68, and provides a great platform to drive the development of secure, interoperable, and scalable IoT and M2M standards. IoT and M2M technologies are playing a key role in India's digital transformation, from smart cities and healthcare to agriculture and disaster management. These technologies are helping improving lives and drive sustainable growth. Today, in this conference, we will focus on how global 1M2M standards can be aligned with India's specific needs and use cases. We have with us a distinguished gathering of IoT M2M service providers, industry leaders, R&D organizations, academia, policymakers, and regulators. I hope your inputs will be valuable in shaping the future of IoT and M2M in India. The conference will cover important discussions on deployment strategies, global data standards, interworking with existing systems, and compliance frameworks. A major highlight of the day is the release of a white paper, followed by live demonstrations and exhibits from leading IoT players. So they will showcase existing and future solutions with participants sharing their plans to align them with the ONM12 standards. Such efforts will drive large-scale adoption and strengthen initiatives like the Digital India. So I again warmly welcome you all and look forward to insightful discussions. Let us work together to deepen India's engagement with the global IoT and standards community and accelerate the adoption of these transformative technologies. Thank you all, and I wish you all a successful and productive one. Thank you again.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Mr. Roland Heckwartner, 1M2M Technical Plenary Chair, to deliver the special address. Mr. Roland Heckwartner works at Yutseke Telecom Group Technology in the Standardization and IPR Management Department, where he is responsible for standardization activities in the service domain. He has been serving as 1M2M Technical Plenary Chairman since 2018. From 2014 to 2018, he served as TP Vice Chairman. Sir, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much for this kind introduction. Thank you for having us here. A big thank you to TSGSI for organizing and hosting the TP meeting 68 here in India. It's always a pleasure to be here. And last but not least, thank you for inviting us for this Stakeholders Day. And even it's started, we can see that there's that many companies presenting their solutions here. And I really look forward to have a very, very interesting discussions, not only during these talks, but especially in between when we are watching these demonstrations. It's really encouraging, and as I am also, I have to say, honored to be here and represent 1M2M for this inaugural speech. Having said that, I have provided a few slides. Yeah, the main point of this talk is to provide you with the basics of 1M2M, make a little introduction of the organization of 1M2M, and at the end also the main goals of this specification and why it can be applied to many different use cases from different areas. So the flexibility and the role of it as a standard, what does it, how it differentiates from other solutions here, and what is the main value of it. So the title of this is 1M2M, the open global IoT standard, and I think thank you very much. And this is this is also where the main content of this short talk will focus at. So a little bit about 1M2M, then I'll present, or I try to provide our understanding of openness. It's one of the important things that apply for these specifications. It's global, it's IoT. At the end, we will see whether it's IoT or it's more than that. We will in the afternoon have talks about how 1M2M might develop in future to a data platform. So that the talks in the afternoon target the AI enablement things, our metaverse can be handled, and also the future outlook and the standard as such. What does it mean that? Okay, what what does it mean that L1 and 2M is a standard, and how this might help in the leveraging. Well, this is the main distinguishing factor to many other technologies that are out there that are. Okay, let's here again. So very brief. I think everybody knows, or many knows, the One and 10 Partnership Project. It's joint work of regional STOs in the telecommunications area, amongst them TSTSI, also China, South Korea, Europe, and US are involved. And in the course of time, I think it was 2014, 2016, the 1 and 2M release 2 was transposed in by ITUT study group 20, which makes it even more global as a standard. What does it mean? Standard is not a product. It's as such, a standard enables products and enables also manifold vendors to deploy based on implementations of such a standard. Why should this be of help? A standard provides interoperability since you have standard provides interoperability since it provides you with interfaces that are implemented by all the vendors the same way, so you can interact between different implementations, different components from different vendors, which makes it more reliable in a way in terms of lifecycle management and reliability in the future and backwards. So there's no need to change your core elements. I'll come to that, what that means when you change the vendors. You're keeping your data as they are. Why? Coming back to the standard testing certification program of 1 and 2M. So I said it's a standard. It's more than that. Complementing the standardization activity, the specification activity, is also testing, test events, and also the certification program, which is an additional value for market uptake and also for the reliability for the products. How the standard works, I think it's many of you, most of you, maybe all of you know exactly how it works, but I try to highlight it. We start with use cases from several domains, as 1 and 2M was always there to cross domain-specific technologies to enable different, very high specific applications to reuse what's necessary for all of the use cases, functionalities that are more in the area of security, functionalities to detect devices, functionalities for registration of devices for applications, etc., etc. All these functionalities that are needed for all the different specific applications, so that at the end the applications, usually very highly specified, with much of specific knowledge, don't need to, especially the developer of those, don't need to take care about all these service related, the connectivity related specificities. So you can abstract all the connectivity technologies underneath, maybe also connect to different existing already deployed technologies, which is a great advantage. So one of the deployment aspects I come in a minute. But yeah, this is the idea. Together, many use cases from different areas. They still the essentialities of this, how to do the use cases to distill requirements, essential requirements, and find the commonalities. And this trickle down in the specifications, requirements documents, architecture documents, protocols that you select. One important thing is the idea from the very beginning was not to reinvent the things, but reuse whatever standard is there. So it's based on the main available standards. It's HTTP, it's CoAP, and et cetera, et cetera. You find a multitude of protocols that didn't want to go into details. You will have all the details in the afternoon with many specific focus topics. But the idea is really to provide something that can be easily deployed and easily used. Although, saying easily, if you think of the integration effort you might take at the very beginning to implement or integrate all these service layers as one of them is, this may take a while, but it's a one-time effort, and you can easily enhance it, adopt it in the future. And the benefit of this, for all that, you don't need to change anything in your applications. This is the standardized northbound API from the runtime layer towards the application. It remains as it is. And you can also easily take one application to another, runtime on top of another runtime implementation, and it works. Having said that, in addition to the standard testing certification program. About the certification and testing, you will hear in the afternoon with more details. These specifications are done by 1M2M, are being transposed by the partners, as you see before, these SDOs, as their own standards, which is the interesting thing for governmental organizations or the normative power of these specifications, since in their regions, those SDOs are entitled to provide national standards or regional standards, which makes it interesting for governmental purposes. So it's easy to point to a standard, since you don't point to a specific company. Everybody is entitled, and now we come to the open, to implement according to this standard. And you can rely on these functionalities that are provided with this standard. Openness, everybody is invited to take part in the development of these specifications. The minimum requirement is that you are a member of one of the SDOs. The reason is also a legal reason. In principle, the work, when it was started, is based on a partner agreement. This partner agreement also covers the legal duties, like how we deal with copyright and how we deal with IPRs, the IPR policy. This is the essential thing why you need to be a member of one of the SDOs. If you're a member of one of the SDOs, your company has agreed to these policies, and with that, it's no additional effort needed to become member of one and take part in this specification. This is one point of the openness. The other one is everybody can have a look at these specifications. They are open, available. You can look at that in every stage of its development, from the initial appearance of a new specification to all the versions that are available, even all the documents that are discussed at the 1M2M meeting. You can have a look at. They are openly available. So it's fully transparent what happens in 1M2M. Openness in terms of accessibility, I mentioned that. Openness in terms of participating. We have face-to-face meetings. Usually they are hybrid meetings. Also this week we have hybrid meetings. Some companies are here. Many take part in online, which also should ease the attendance and participation in the meetings. So it's not necessary that you travel around the world to take part in the discussions. You can also take part remotely. Also, kind of openness in terms of attendance and participation. In addition, activities are also done. We recently started an academia relations group. You will hear also some details later. The idea was um, to strengthen the collaboration with universities in a way that without becoming members, they have a platform to exchange on the use of 1M2M. Many universities base programs on one of the open source solutions of 1M2M, and their students work with such implementation and to exchange in this group about the possibilities, be it to formats for lectures, but also problems that might appear, learnings to exchange, and at the end, we also expect that many of these activities will maybe lead to improvements to the standard as such, or detect errors in the implementations that are there, or in the standards, same as in the testing, where we also have many change requests coming out of test events when different implementations are tested. Then you detect that might be some ambiguities in the standards. Just a number, I think it's 25 specifications that comprise the 1M2M the technical specifications. So it's not always given that the ambiguity is, or it's sometimes it's not that clear as we think it should be. If somebody else who was not involved in the development of the specification reads the specification, and read different things, since it's always hard to clearly describe how it was meant. So these are things that come through that involve the different separately the specifications, and this is the green arrow here. It's also a feedback loop from different activities that improve or the specification as such. Then there are industry days and stakeholder days like this, where the idea is to get in touch with the regions, to invite companies to get to know their status in the areas and also their requirements. We don't believe that we know everything. I think we rely heavily, and this is also one important thing, heavily on use cases from reality. And this is exactly what the companies here in India experience. It's important that we get also their feedback, their input, and into the specifications so that they can cope with the requirements that are here. So it's very important. This is another part of the openness, but also part of the main core requirement for 1M2M is that it is contribution driven. So it's not a top-down approach that in my role as DPG, I say what needs to be done. It's the contrary. The members bring in their ideas, bring in their work, discuss and find a common agreement. And with that, we believe the standard is much more robust and usable in the market. And that is why markets like India should be present. And this is an invitation to all of you. Please take the chance, take part in whatever form. We are happy to get your input, and hope that this is also a case to trigger that, and that many companies will take part and provide their insights. And in addition to what I said, the industry days is also hackathon. This is back to the mostly universities. for small, medium enterprises. There are hackathon events where in a few weeks, certain teams get together and provide implementations based on 1M2M. And I think we had several of them. The last one was in December, or ended in December 2024. And it's always interesting to see the creativity and also how students, mainly they have never heard about 1M2M before, can easily deploy or a use case based on this technology. So it's not that hard to understand. It might perceive this complex, but if you try to play around, I think it can be easily understood, especially in a way for the hackathons where you don't are required to provide a product that survives on the market, but to showcase that the technology works in certain areas. Yeah, please push me if I take too long. If I'm in this topic, I'm always exaggerating the time. So this is the key, as I said, one of the key elements. I said it before that one of them breaks down the silos. I think it's not new for you that you are here, but it also highlights what I said before. The elements that are required for all the specific applications in different domains usually have similar functionalities required for exchanging data. And it's important. And what 1M2M also provides is interworking towards connectivity technologies, different ones. So there are specifications we hear about them later this afternoon. 3GPP interworking. We have also on the data side interworking via the 1M2M based ontology with SAREF on the other end of the stack, if you say so, but also the bindings, the core HTTP. We have specific interworking for technologies that are worked on. We will hear in the afternoon also the NGSI and the interworking, which is currently done, so that is being integrated. So this is where to put 1M2M, and on the other hand, where the data are provided towards the applications, and the other way around is also possible to manage data wherever you have distributed it in your devices. So with that, I think technology-wise, it's also integrating many of the device management technologies that are there. So this is, we had a talk or in the discussions today and yesterday, before we mentioned this is the complexity of 1M2M is on one hand frightening. On the other hand, it's also the quality of 1M2M, since it provides solutions for many use cases, independent from which domain you come. And I think that's the quality. So maybe sometimes it's the quality at the second view, not the first one, but I think that's definitely one unique quality of 1M2M as a standard. It's not focused in a way on the use case, it's focused on to exchange data, and in future we will see also exchanging information across different areas and with all the applications. Yeah. Okay. 2 minutes. Yeah, here you see a slide that a summary by release, the evolution of features from release 1 to release 4 is depicted here. The next slide is about release 5. The list of features is always which has been added, the features that have been added. So release 1 was the initial release. release 2, I think still release 2 combined with some features of release 3, release 2, release 2 plus is, I think, the dead deployed solutions right now. It is working fine. Release 3 and release 4 brings new features that might be interesting for more specific deployments. Currently, we're working on release 5. So you see here several points, as I said, interworking, for example, in release 3, also with OPC UA, which is interesting in some industry use cases, some more interworking specific for 3GPP networks. And we're still working on the 3GPP interworking now, since also on 3GPP side, it's a moving target. 3GPP develops from scratch to NAV, so we have to adopt also the interworking. But this is ongoing work. So the slides are distributed. You can read that. If you want to have much more insights, please contact us. And now coming to my last slide, release 5. I think this is an interesting outlook. I will not go in details here, but you will see many of the contributions or presentations in the afternoon focus on these AI enablement, support of data protection, data license management. This is what I meant with maybe one and two M can be received from going from IoT to data platform. You will see more detail in the presentation from Jason Song, who is working in these areas. It's how to provide for clean data for applications, in this case AI. The other one is to apply to existing regulations in a clear way, and the support of data license management will become a very, very important thing. You can't take any data and do whatever you want. You have to apply to the license that is applied to the data. So that's very important that you can do that automatically in your implementation. But this is a feature that is currently being worked on. So that is why we think we can perceive the next release or the release after the IoT more as one of them becoming the data platform for much more than that. And you see the other word, metaverse enablement, digital twins enablement, integrating NGS-ILD, as I said before. The NGS-ILD you'll see in the afternoon, more detailed in production. Same for the OGC sensor thing integration, and also the 3GPP networks interworking status. So you will get much more details on the current work. And with that, I conclude my presentation. Sorry for being taking too long. If there are any more questions, please do not hesitate to contact me or anybody else who is here from 1M2M. There are several colleagues. And invitation again, please join if you want to take part, you want to know more, and you are really welcome to the 1M2M team to bring in your insights, your learnings, your requirements. Thank you very much.
You, Mr. Rowland, for your insightful address and setting the stage for deeper discussions. Now, let's move on to our next segment, release of TSDSI white paper on innovations for sustainable urban living, insights into smart city solutions. We are privileged to have among us Professor Anand Srivastav, Vice Chancellor, Netaji Subhas Institute of Technology with us. We also have with us Mr. Ram Sajeevan Singh, DDG IoT Telecom Engineering Center, Government of India, Mr. Mukesh Kumar, Deputy Director, Standards Telecom Engineering Center, Mr. Vinod Kumar, Deputy Director General Standards, Research and Innovation, DOT and DDG Standards, Mr. Harmeet Singh, Director Network and Technologies, Telecom Engineering Center, Government of India. May I invite you all to kindly come forward for the release of for the white paper. May I also request Mr. Roland Hekwatner, Mr. Mohan Ram, Mr. Vijay Madan to join us for the release of white paper.
Yes, yes. Yes.
I now invite our chief guest, Professor Anand Srivastav, to deliver the inaugural address.
Good morning, Dr. Roland, uh, Mr. Vijay Madan, my longtime mentor. He was mentoring me for a good 90 years, a good source of inspiration. Mr. Mittal, I also see a lot of ex-CDOTians and CDOTians and my government colleagues. It's an honor to be here. So, see, standards are very important for any industry. Telecom standards equally important. Because of those standards, we are able to communicate, we are able to interoperate. All your 3G, 4G, 5G networks, they work wherever you go, nationally or internationally. You have global compatibility. The best part is if you have standards, there's a cost efficiency because you have economies of scale. People make equipments which meet standards. And also, once you have good standards, there's a confidence of the consumer because the moment he sees that it meets international standards, he's excited. He's willing to use that technology. Now, India historically has followed the standards, but I think we are now well positioned to guide the world in terms of standards. I'm saying this because of few points. See, India is a growing market. As we speak, there are more than 1 billion mobile connections. So India cannot be ignored. Whatever we work, whatever requirements we have, it has to be part of the standards. And now there's a lot of innovation and R&D happening in the country in different fields. If you see the Global Innovation Index, India now ranks 39 out of 133 countries. And thanks to government policies, there's a good ecosystem in the country to promote innovation and entrepreneurship. And a lot of industries are working on R&D. So again, we are well positioned to participate in the process of international standards. There's a government support for digital infrastructure. There's a digital transformation happening. You know of Digital India, BharatNet. We have done a lot of activities in 5G, working on 6G. So there's a lot of push by the India as far as digital transformation is concerned. And India is a unique country where we have diverse cases. We have different strata of socioeconomic people. They have different requirements. They people require different kind of bandwidth. So we have a lot of use cases. So standards have to evolve around our use cases, right? So India's size, technological prowess, I think we should take lead in the standard process. Now, coming to M2M, before I come to M2M, let's see what kind of market we have for IoT. IoT is going to be 30 billion by 2030. And it is going to be about $2 trillion by 2030. That's kind of investment which is there in the IoT sector. And many of the users will be consumer IoT, industrial IoT, healthcare IoT. Now, M2M is a very good technology, a very good platform to exploit or unlock the potential of IoT. M2M it has standards, and I'm glad that India is part of those standards, and it can interoperate. It is service-oriented architecture, which means there are distinct layers: the device layer, the communication layer, and application layer. And now, if you see, the SDG, that is Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations, they want to achieve certain targets by 2030. There are 17 of them. And if you want to achieve those goals, which are really aspirational goals and achievable, you have to use technology. And ICT, information and communication technology, is relevant to all the goals. We can achieve those goals using ICT technology. And M2M also is also going to play a very, very important role in achieving those goals of United Nations. Take, for example, one of the goal is zero hunger. Now, how do you achieve? Because you have to, increase your yield, your agriculture output. How do you use technology to increase that agriculture output? So probably M2M platform can be used for precision farming, livestock management. It can be used for, pollution within the industry or within the agriculture sector. So this is how we can achieve, zero hunger. We can go close to zero hunger if we use this technology in an appropriate way. The other is good health and well-being. That is another SDG important, which is actually healthcare. So remotely, India is unique. You have to give medical services or healthcare services to remotely, people who are remotely placed, underserved people. So only technology can help here. Extending medical services through telemedicine or using, devices which are remotely monitored. So you can, play a very, very important, or M2M platform can play a very, very important role. Another one is affordable and clean energy. Now there's a concept of smart grid. There's a good use of M2M platform in smart grid. You can, regulate your consumption. You can increase the efficiency of your energy energy production, and also one can use different forms of other energy, wind turbines or solar energy, along with grid energy, so that the output is actually clean energy. This is also one of the goals of SDG. The other is sustainable cities and innovation. This is again one of the important SDG goals. So you see M2M as a great potential in smart cities, whether it is waste management or it is traffic management, or you want to make energy efficient buildings. So it has a great potential. And then climate action, that is another area where M2M can play an important role. I come from education sector. I see a lot of opportunities in the education sector as well. So basically, if you see, most of the SDG goals, M2M platform is going to play a very, very important role. So, and now we have another technology coming, AI. So already you have unlocked the potential of IoT. M2M coupled with AI is going to be a game changer. So you are going to get extra, advantage by using artificial intelligence over M2M platform. So I urge all the people who are working in this domain to work on use cases which are specific to India. At the same time, we should align ourselves to the global advancement. So I normally use the phrase, we should be locally engaged and globally networked. That is the philosophy we should have. And once again, I welcome all the delegates here, and I hope you will have a productive conference, all the stakeholders, namely industry leaders, researchers, academic people. So I wish all the best and have a fruitful conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Srivastava, for your inspiring address and valuable insights. I now invite Mr. Vijay Madan to deliver the vote of thanks for this inaugural session. Mr. Vijay Madan is currently associated with TSDSI as advisor and mentor with special focus on standardization in services and solutions relating to evolving technologies and applications. Vertical sectors, use cases, security and crypto, IoT, drone services, cloud computing, PPDR, future ICT enabling systems, also with JWGS focus connected with 1M, 2M, 3GPP, ITUT. Welcome, Mr. Madan. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you all. And my special thanks to our guest today, the honor today, Dr. Srivastava. Distinguished people from here who have released the paper, our distinguished guests from Department of Telecommunication, colleagues, Mr. Mohan Ram, Mr. Mittal, and all the leaders of TSDSI and my friends. I must extend my thanks to everybody, and we'll be thanking at the end of the conference also. It is my duty to thank the participants and our people who have come, who have been instrumental in developing these standards at 1M, 2M, Mr. Roland, and all his leaders also have come and all that. So we had a very useful technical plenary to begin with, and we'll be ending with a technical closing plenary, and in between we have working groups and other things. And so all leaders are here, but we are delighted that you have all joined on midweek stakeholders day. And I thank you all and the team who has been a team and teams of stakeholders and also our own internal team to have arranged these demonstrations also outside. And interestingly, Mr. Roland, for example, you mentioned that feature by feature, this standard is becoming more and more open and all. And as Dr. Srivastava also mentioned, that what we must work for introducing Indian use case requirements so that the standards could serve our users, our applications, our vertical sectors, as also other countries who are developing to achieve these smart cities and also enable vertical sectors by 1M, 2M, and so on. So once again, I extend warm welcome to you all throughout the day, and also I my heartfelt and my team's heartfelt thanks for being here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. With that, we conclude this segment for of the conference. I big thank you to all the speakers and chief guests for their valuable insights. Now let's take a short break and enjoy some refreshments. We invite you all to join us for a networking tea session, an excellent opportunity to connect, exchange ideas, and engage with fellow participants. Please take this time to interact with experts, industry leaders, and peers over a cup of tea. We will reconvene shortly for the next session from 11:25 a.m.
Thank you all, and also I invite you to visit the exhibition which is there. How really in field these IoT systems are working and how they are going to adopt IoT.